The cafe buzzed, a symphony of clinking spoons, whispered conversations. The aroma of roasted beans hung heavy, a familiar comfort. Henry sat alone. His table by the window felt too big, too empty. The chair across from him remained unoccupied, cold. He clutched his coffee mug, the warmth failing to reach his numb fingers. His eyes, though, were drawn to the empty seat. He could almost see her. Margaret, her gentle smile, the way her eyes crinkled at the corners when she laughed. The world bustled around him, oblivious to his silent grief. The young couple at the next table, lost in their own world, their laughter a sharp contrast to the ache in his heart. He envied their carefree joy, a feeling he once knew so well. Every Saturday, for 50 years, they came here. This cafe, a silent witness to their love story. They'd met just across the street, at the park, their first date a nervous exchange of shy smiles and stolen glances. The cafe became their place, a haven from the world. They'd talk for hours, their hands intertwined on the table, sipping coffee, sharing pastries, and simply being. In each other's presence, they found solace, a quiet joy. He remembered her laughter, clear as the cafe's bell chime. He remembered the way her eyes sparkled, reflecting the sunlight streaming through the window. He remembered the feel of her hand in his, warm and familiar. Memories, now bittersweet, washed over him. It happened gradually, then all at once. The diagnosis, a cruel twist of fate. The hospital visits, filled with whispered reassurances and unspoken fears. He was there, every step of the way. Holding her hand, reading to her, his heart breaking a little more each day. Then, the silence. The deafening silence of her absence. The world continued, but his stopped. Days were gray. Food, tasteless. The house, too quiet. Each corner, each room, whispered her name. He was adrift, lost in a sea of grief. He'd found the note tucked away in her favorite book, the one she read every night before bed. Her handwriting, a little shaky now, but still undeniably hers. A message from beyond, a beacon in his darkness. "My dearest Henry," the note began. His name, in her hand, brought a fresh wave of grief. He had to stop, close his eyes, and breathe. The cafe, the noise, faded away. All that remained were her words, echoing in the silence of his heart. "Don't let my absence steal your joy," she'd written. He could almost hear her voice, soft and loving. "Promise me you'll keep living. Promise me you'll keep our memories alive." Her words, a lifeline thrown across the chasm of his grief. "Remember our Saturdays," she'd pleaded. "Remember the laughter, the love, the life we shared. Live for us both, my love, until we meet again." A single teardrop splashed onto the paper, blurring the ink. He reread the note, each word a testament to their love. Her strength, even in the face of death, amazed him. He'd promised her, promised to keep living, to keep their memories alive. And he would keep that promise. He looked around the cafe, seeing it anew. The laughter, the chatter, the aroma of coffee, it was all a celebration of life. He wouldn't let grief consume him. He would embrace life, for her, for them. He took a sip of his coffee, the bitterness strangely comforting. It was time to keep his promise, to live, to love, to remember. He left the cafe, stepping out into the fading light. The world seemed a little brighter now, the air a little lighter. He would return next Saturday, and every Saturday after that. He would sit at their table, drink his coffee, and remember. Her memory, he realized, wasn't a source of pain, but a beacon of light, a testament to the enduring power of love. Their love story might have taken a different turn, but it wasn't over. It was simply unfolding in a new way. He walked on, a newfound strength in his stride. He carried her love with him, a warm ember in the winter of his grief. And he knew, with a certainty that defied logic, that she was walking beside him, always.